Welcome to this introduction to the digital T-levels. This is designed to give you an answer to some of the initial questions you may have about the digital T-levels and the pathways contained within them. But I will include additional information at the end of how you can get additional support for the digital area. My name is James Lane. I'm the Sector Manager for Digital here at the awarding organisation NCFE. I joined in April of 2020 to bring a sector-based focus to the digital qualifications we develop. And my role sees me liaising between our partner stakeholders in education through providers, the sector through employers, subject matter experts and industry practitioners, all of which is fed back here to NCFE to ensure that we're building the best possible digital qualifications that students will be excited and supported through, that they are enjoyable and demonstrably relevant to teach, and that when the student uses them to progress to the next level of learning or employment, that our qualifications support that next step in every possible way. The T-level programme has a number of guided learning hours between 1,115 to 1,200 for the digital, and I'll explain on that as I walk you through the two pathways that are provided within the digital T-levels. The qualification itself is broken into the core. This is to set the student up for success by introducing them to the concepts that are usually found to be consistent throughout a variety of digital careers. For example, we include elements of legislation, the Data Protection Act and how the UK GDPR is incorporated, cybersecurity, and a range of other transferable skills to ensure that the student has an understanding of the sector before progressing to focus on their occupational specialism. The core itself is proposed to be delivered in the first year of the programme. In the second year, the student will move to focus on their chosen occupational specialism. There are two pathways available, digital business services and digital support services. In the digital business services pathway, the occupational specialism is data technician. And in the digital support services pathway, the occupational specialisms are digital infrastructure, digital support, or network cabling. There are two routes that the student may choose, but they are obviously influenced by which pathway and subsequently which occupational specialism you choose to offer at your centre. You may choose to provide all occupational specialisms, or a single one, or a mixture. In order to support your conversations and recruitment efforts for the T-level programme, I wanted to share some of the job roles that we had envisaged when we were designing these qualifications. These also represent some of the employer, subject matter expert and industry practitioner stakeholders that have worked alongside us to develop the materials. These examples are not designed to be exhaustive, but will give you a flavour of the vision we had. So for example, when we were working through the data technician, we were speaking to data technicians, data scientists, data engineers, data analysts, database engineers and technicians, and data statisticians. When we were looking at digital infrastructure, we spoke to infrastructure engineers, architects, infrastructure managers, business analysts, infrastructure support specialists, systems engineers, infrastructure specialists, cybersecurity professionals, and network security. Within digital support, we worked with support engineer, support officers, technical support, testers, infrastructure engineers, and solution architects. And then finally, with network cabling, we looked at network installation engineers, network cabling engineers, data center engineers and supports, IT cabling, cabling technicians, structured telecoms cabling, data installations, and finally fiber engineers. As I said, these are all examples of people we worked with, but also careers the students could realistically progress onto. This is the vision we had. It's not exhaustive, like I said, but it gives you a good flavour. The assessment approach we've used for the programme is split into the core and occupational specialisms as two separate elements. The core assessment is covered with the two papers that will be externally assessed by NCFE, and the Employer Set Project, or ESP. It is important to note that the ESP is not related to the employer with whom the student will conduct their placement. It is set by NCFE and designed to be an option to ensure that the competency threshold is measured and appropriate for progression onto the chosen occupational specialism. The grade for the core component is calculated based on their combined marks for the two core exams and the ESP. The occupational specialism itself is assessed via a combination of synoptic and practical assessments supported by professional discussion. The students must achieve at least a grade E for the core component and a pass grade for the occupational specialism before being awarded the TQ overall. The proposed grading structure is designed to ensure that high performance in one part of the core component assessment compensates for lower performance in another. Industry placements give students an opportunity to develop their practical and technical skills in a role directly relevant to their chosen occupational specialism. Of course, they also give employers the chance to ensure that the students are developing the skills and experience the industry needs. They are driven by the centres, and so it's essential to visit existing links you have with employers and of course explore new connections in order to achieve this vital part of the overall programme. The placements can vary in length, but must last for a minimum of 315 hours, which is about 45 days, and that's not including lunch breaks. They will make up around 20% of the course, with the students spending about 80% of their time in the classroom. Now that brings me to the end of this walkthrough. The information I've provided here is admittedly high level and designed to give you an introduction into the programme. I would welcome you to reach out to me and continue this conversation. So you can reach out and book some time with me or Jackson, our subject specialist for digital, to discuss any queries you have relating to the subject, the material, or the thought behind the direction we've taken. We're here to support you 100%, so please do get in touch with your account executive, or you can contact me directly at jameslane@ncfe.org.uk or via social media like LinkedIn or Twitter.